Hi, my name's Wilkinson. I'm from All Hallows Catholic High School and I'm at Ashton Golf Club today, and I'm going to be demonstrating my GCSE golf practical assessment. So this is the first tee, and as you can see it would be a straight shot usually, but because I'm playing in winter right now, the tee's off to the right, which brings the right hand side trees into play. So I'm just at the right of the fairway and I'm adjacent to the 150 yard marker, and the wind is actually against me, but so I'm going to be hitting a 6 instead of a 7, which is my usual club for around 150 yards. The pin is also at the back right of the green, so I'm going to be aiming for around middle to the right of the green. That shot was a bit to the right, so it's going to be interesting to see what my lie is when we get up there. As you can see, there's a twig right next to my ball. I'm allowed to move it as long as my ball doesn't actually move. So, not the best of shots from me. I'm right at the green with the bunker in the way of my next shot, which means I'm going to have to hit quite a high lofted club, which is my lob wedge, which is the highest loft club in my bag. And I'm going to have to open my body up, which makes the loft even greater, and try and stop the ball just over the ledge. So being just off the green I would usually putt, but because I've got a load of ruffled grass in front of my ball, I'm not going to. I'm going to use a 56-degree wedge. I'm hopefully going to hit it over this and land it on this piece of grass called the apron and get it quite close to the hole. So I hit that quite hard, but because I hit it so cleanly, it actually landed quite close to the flag anyway. So I'm 190 to 200 yards away from the hole, which means I'm going to be hitting either a long iron or a hybrid or a fairway wood. In my case it's a hybrid or a fairway wood, and I'm going to be demonstrating one of both. So this is my hybrid. So this is my fairway wood. So today's conditions, as you can see, are quite sunny, which means the shot I played was quite a low shot to keep my eye on the ball so I didn't lose it. There's a out of bounds to the right, so usually if it was worse conditions I might hit a shorter iron which would lay up. So this is a bunker. On a golf course you usually get two types of bunkers, one that's quite flat or one that's got a ridge like this one. Because this one's got a ridge, I'm going to have to open my body up and open the loft up of the club and get right under the ball, which means I can get the right trajectory and get it onto the green coast of the hole. One of the rules in golf suggests that I'm not allowed to make contact with the sand with my club, otherwise it would incur a stroke penalty, and it's called grounding the club. So I'm going to play the shot, I'm going to open up my body and get as much sand as I can, to be honest, about an inch behind the ball, and get it onto the green. So that's not a bad result, as I got it just past the hole, but I can get quite a good putt from that. When leaving the bunker, you must always make sure to rake it, as your foot mark and your shot mark can disadvantage players that end up in this bunker as well. So this is a 165 yard par 3, which means I'm not going to be hitting my driver, I'm going to be hitting one of my mid irons. I would normally hit a 6 as the yardage is in the top end of my 6 iron range, but instead I'm going to be hitting a 5 iron with a little less weight. The ball won't travel as far because in winter obviously it's cold and the ball just generally doesn't travel far, and it won't run as much because the ground is damp. So I think I opened up my club face and my swing too much then, as my ball was blocked out to the right, which landed right of the green. So the ball is above my feet in this lie here, and a usual shot would mean the ball was put round to the left. So to compensate for this, I'm going to aim more right. So in this line, the ball is below my feet, which means it's going to have the opposite effect of the uphill lie, and it's going to go over to the right. To compensate from this, I'm going to aim more left, and I'm going to use a shorter iron, my 9 iron, which means I can play it safe and keep the ball in play. So although that didn't go as far as it should, it ended up in play, and so I can reach the green for my next shot. So I have quite an unorthodox grip compared to most players, but I feel as though it gives me more control as no hand favours the other. I also use it because it gives me a pendulum swing, which I feel gives me more control as well as that. And on top of that, I also have a thicker grip, which, along with me, professionals seem to think it benefits them, which it certainly does for me. So I'm around 2 feet onto the apron, and I'm aware that the apron can alter the direction of the ball, which is why professionals would chip usually on the apron. But because I don't have that control, and I'm going to be playing safe to my abilities, which is going to be putting it. As well as this, because I'm off the green, I can leave the flag in. I'm really pleased with that. I'm about 10 feet from the flag, and I'm putting downhill from right to left, which means I've got to aim about 6 inches to the right. Each of these putts are around 6 feet away from the hole, with the slope going from right to left, so I'm going to aim around 6 inches to the right. So each putt here is around 2 feet straight uphill, meaning the slope doesn't affect the direction of the ball, so I'm just going to hit it straight and firm at the hole. So now I'm going to demonstrate the fade and the draw for my driver, my fairway woods, my mid irons, my long irons and my short irons. A fade is where you open your stance and open your shoulders and end up with a high finish, so then the ball goes from centre line to the right. A draw is exactly the opposite, where you start off to the right and end up on the left, or centre line and end up on the left, or right and end up on the centre line. So you close your stance, you close your shoulders and swing through the ball. One of my most important things that I carry with me is the rule book. Although I could feel confident with the rules during a round, there's always something that could catch me out and cause me to have a penalty stroke.